Tanaki, the type of person who probably apologizes to the calendar as she writes the wrong date. Then a tiny paperwork mistake shows up, and her brain instantly jumps to full samurai tragedy mode. Not, I'll fix it. No. The emotional seppuku movie trailer playing in her head like she just disgraced a 400-year family lineage. Tarako is staring at her like, girl, you misplaced a form. Why are we spiritually in feudal Japan right now? Meanwhile, are you here for the premium top-shelf brain rot? Are you here for the hot anime girls? Well, I've got plenty of the first one, but we're fresh out of the other because a dear girl literally ate the budget and probably the lead animator's car keys. What the flip? Hey guys, folded legs here. Gameplay in the background as usual because we are taking spoilers and throwing them into a wood chipper. I'm giving you pure unhinged energy and nothing else. Today we are subjecting our remaining overworked brain cells to the absolute chaos of my dear friend Nokotan. If you haven't seen it, here's the TLDR. A former delinquent girl tries to live a perfect high school life, but then a girl with antlers and a god complex shows up to gaslight her into a full-blown mental breakdown and blow up the school with explosive headgear. It's loud, it makes zero sense, and I think I can actually smell cedar trees through my monitor right now. But hey, real quick before I start the video, thank you for being here. This is a bit of a chaotic ride, but having you along for the descent into madness means more than you know. If you enjoyed the video and want to help me fuel this fever dream, drop me a like, hit that subscribe button, or leave a comment with the next anime you want me to roast into a fine slurry. Your support is the only thing keeping my sanity from being traded for deer crackers. Alright, let's get into the madness. I hope your insurance covers cognitive damage, because we're diving headfirst into the antler-fueled apocalypse. Section 1. Deer energy breaks reality. Imagine you've spent your entire life crafting the perfect reformed persona. You're the honor student, the untouchable queen of the hallway, and then a girl with antlers walks in and treats your dignity like a chew toy. Tarako Koshi is out here, fighting for her life to maintain a 4.0 GPA, while the universe has clearly decided her life is actually a surrealist comedy sketch. Enter Nokotan, a literal deer girl who treats her own detachable headgear like a Swiss Army knife and ignores the laws of physics with the confidence of someone who has never heard of gravity. Tarako's brain isn't just fried, it's been put through a wood chipper and served as deer feed. And don't even get me started on the narrator. Usually a narrator is there to help the audience, but this one is a dedicated hater. It's like having a voice in your head that only exists to remind you of your most embarrassing secrets and roast your virgin status to a global audience. The fourth wall isn't just broken, it's been pulverized. Tarako is out here trying to have a moment, and the voice of God is basically calling her a chaos magnet who owes the world money. The Deer Club isn't even a club, it's a localized glitch in the simulation. One minute you're imagining a peaceful utopia, and the next you're opening a door to a room that looks like a landfill for common sense. Cookies start spawning on desks like a server error, and Nokotan is over there casually undergoing a shonen power-up transformation, growing muscles just by existing. It's the kind of vibe where you stop asking why and start asking when will the screaming stop. Tarako is just a shell of a human at this point, watching her life goals evaporate in a cloud of antler-scented madness. Then the supporting cast shows up to finish off whatever was left of the sanity. You've got a little sister who radiates horror movie villain energy and treats weaponry like a standard sibling bonding tool. Then a girl appears who is basically a forest Buddha with a high-stakes obsession with rice. Tarako is spiritually translucent, her ego trying auto-inflate only to realize she's just recruited more inmates for the asylum. By the time the day ends with her dead-eyed, brushing the hair of a literal forest animal, and a group of lunatics. The realization hits. Her perfect reputation hasn't just been ruined, it's been digested. Sanity isn't just optional here. It's been banned by the dear God herself. Section 2. Authority figures, but make it unstable. The Deer Club might be chaos, but the Student Council is the kind of chaos that files paperwork about the chaos. Take Kinu Tanakikochi, the type of person who probably apologizes to the calendar as she writes the wrong date. Then a tiny paperwork mistake shows up, and her brain instantly jumps to full samurai tragedy mode. No, I'll fix it. No. The emotional seppuku movie trailer playing in her head like she just disgraced a 400-year family lineage. Tarako is staring at her like, girl, you misplaced a form. Why are we spiritually in feudal Japan right now? Meanwhile, the rest of the meeting is somehow worse. Anko is sitting nearby watching Chiharu Tsubumeya like a hawk that just drank 5 energy drinks. Chiharu moves 1 inch closer to Tarako, and Anko's expression immediately says, I will start a boss fight in this office. Chiharu is trying so hard to act calm and professional. Then Nokotan arrives, and the room immediately loses all remaining dignity. Dear cookies start appearing like reality is buffering. One drops directly onto Chiharu's head. Nokotan casually offers her grass like she's feeding livestock behind a barn. Tarako is internally screaming. Chiharu, meanwhile, is fighting for her life, trying not to look excited because deep down she is absolutely thrilled. She accepts the grass with the serious respect of someone receiving a holy relic from the Church of Deer. Across the table sits Nico Amada, vice president and full-time Tarako rival. Every time Tarako breathes, Neko looks like she's mentally writing another step in her master plan titled Destroy the Deer Club and Steal the Throne. The problem is that plotting requires stability, and Nokotan has the stability of a shopping cart with 1 broken wheel. At one point, Tarako ends up stuck in the school gym with Kinu for a short time, which sounds mildly inconvenient until you remember Kinu's imagination already tried to perform ritual self-destruction over paperwork. 5 minutes pass. Kinu has mentally written farewell letters, imagined a tragic future, and emotionally prepared to become a forgotten historical figure. Tarako is just standing there pointing at the door like it will probably open. Outside, Neko keeps trying to gather dirt on the Deer Club like a cartoon villain doing surveillance. But every attempt collapses because Nokotan's chaos keeps hijacking the situation. Tarako eventually reaches a horrible realization. The Deer Club isn't the weirdest thing happening at school. It's just the most honest about it. Section 3. The descent into psychological warfare. Imagine walking into a coffee shop and finding a man who has made being a normal professional his entire spiritual identity, only to watch him face a girl who clearly doesn't believe in the concept of a menu, or frankly, the laws of physics. It's a high-stakes psychological siege. The owner is out here treating every latte like it's a holy relic of stability. It is the peak of what the demonetized energy when the person causing the atmospheric collapse tells you to calm down while you're mid-aneurysm, wondering where his life went wrong and why it smells like fresh antlers, which is less of a commercial and more of a digital biohazard that should have been buried in a lid box in 2008. We're talking about a visual lobotomy complete with aggressive green screens and a background song that sounds like it was composed by a demon on a sugar high specifically to colonize your gray matter. The student council tries to study it, but within minutes, if you listen to it for more than 10 seconds, your prefrontal cortex just turns into a smoothie and walks out the door. Featuring a board game session under a katatsu that turns into a literal simulation of the fall of the Roman Empire. You've got characters turning a piece of cardboard into a blood ritual, with one girl accidentally speedrunning capitalism to become a billionaire tycoon. while everyone else is having a genuine mental breakdown over imaginary tax brackets. The screaming hits a pitch that could shatter a satellite because nobody is playing a game, while the main character's vocal cords are just fraying into dust from the sheer effort of trying to bring back a single shred of sanity. We've reached a level of gaslighting where the faculty is actually convinced that eating the equipment is a legitimate Olympic strategy. Mask is finally stomped into the dirt. It's the ultimate what the flip realization that being a feral, unhinged mess is actually a leadership quality. Section 4. The final brain rot frontier. Koshitan starts this stretch acting like her immune system is a VIP club with a velvet rope, only for her face to transform into a high-pressure, leaky faucet of snot. She isn't a student leader anymore. She's a walking biohazard, vibrating with the indignity of having a respiratory system that actually functions. The club treats her like a localized plague, while Nokotan and Meme decide the only logical response to hay fever is domestic terrorism. Who needs antihistamines when you have antlers that function as high-yield dynamite? I am spiritually ascending, watching a girl sneeze her soul out of her body while her friends prep for a scorched earth mission against a bunch of trees. Meanwhile, the side characters are having a high stakes, dead silent rice eating session while forest level explosions go off in the background. Bro, some people just want to watch the world burn as long as there's a side of carbs. Then we run into the pure audacity of a man prowling around a high school cosplaying as a red-blooded American, guns out going as far as reciting the Rifleman's Creed, while stalking a deer girl like he's in a low-budget military thriller. The legendary showdown reaches peak anime power-up levels, only to be instantly deflated by a phone call from his wife telling him to get his tail home. It is the ultimate WTF is happening right now pivot from a high-stakes duel to picking pup milk in 3 seconds flat. And don't even get me started on the all-powerful god Nokotan getting completely rattled by a simple water bottle like it's a high-tech deterrent system. Koshitan's sanity is just a puddle on the floor as she realizes she's a personal stylist for a girl losing. A psychological war against a beverage. The high-stakes shopping trip ending because God is too spooked by a mall to continue is the kind of anticlimactic glory that feeds my dark soul. The finale is where logic finally files for a restraining order. We're watching a dramatic cliffhanger get retconned into non-existence, leaving Koshitan as the only person in the universe still burdened by the concept of cause and effect. There's a secret organization sending literal city mascots to reclaim the chaos like she's a rogue secret agent who knows too much about the government's stash of crackers. We get a Rocky training montage with a knockoff song, but the actual match is 90% cheating and 10% explosive antlers being used as propellers. It's a localized riot where the winner is decided by season finale vibes rather than actual points. It's the peak of the deer rot, proving that no amount of personal growth can survive a girl with a deer-themed brain. Koshitan's perfect life ends with one last antler smack to the face, and honestly, the view from the ruins of her dignity is spectacular. Section 5. Final thoughts. The honest gremlin opinion. Alright, this is the part where my gremlin ass gives you the unfiltered, no logic allowed truth. Should you watch this show? Be so freaking lootly? Listen, if you came here looking for a deep, soul-searching plot with character arcs and emotional growth, you are in the wrong neighborhood and you probably need to check your GPS. Does the plot make sense? Heck no. It has the structural integrity of a wet cracker. Does it try to be some highbrow masterpiece? Absolutely not. It exists for one reason and one reason only. To make you laugh until your stomach hurts and your brain officially turns into a pile of deer crackers. I loved every unhinged second of it. So yes, I am recommending this to anyone with a functioning sense of humor and a willingness to lose a few IQ points for the sake of the vibe. For real though, thank you guys for sticking around and watching my brain rot in real time. It's been a wild ride of explosive antlers and rice-obsessed madness, and I'm glad you were here to laugh at the chaos with me. You guys are the real ones for surviving this season of deer-induced insanity without calling for a medical intervention. Seeing you all in the comments makes the internal screaming worth it, and I wouldn't trade this feral community for all the perfect student reputations in the world. If you made it all the way to the end of this fever dream and your prefrontal cortex is still somewhat intact, drop the secret code in the comments. All hail the dear god and her explosive headgear. This lets me know who the true agents of chaos are. This is Folded Legs rolling out. Stay weird, stay chaotic, and for the love of everything holy, watch out for flying antlers.